Alright, hello there, welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video going into a Baldur's Gate type of video, and we're looking at a subreddit post in Baldur's Gate 3, of course. What are some of the absolute worst takes you've ever seen? Today I saw a comment from someone who said that Shadowheart's quote-unquote good ending forces her to abandon her beliefs, and that is inherently a bad thing. I feel like reading comprehension is at an all-time low with some of these hot takes I keep seeing. So, I don't really know if I have a hot take myself with this game. I feel like the game's relatively polished, and the complaints I may have would be pretty universal along with anyone else if there's really any complaints to talk about. But I want to see some of the hottest takes, and let's just get into it. The number one comment is, I've seen people say it's predatory to romance Asterion because his trauma makes him codependent, even though the game goes out of its way to show you that he isn't codependent. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I actually have not done Asterion's side quest because I've played with my cousins and my brother. We haven't had a whole lot of NPCs to play with. The whole of the game would be even bigger if it wasn't turn-based are my personal favorites. Yeah, honestly, that's probably a dumb take because this game being turn-based is what makes it what it is. It's based off Dungeons and Dragons, and the turn-based aspect of it is honestly really great. I think there's a lot of games that have their gimmicks or core central values, and this game's core, at a core, you know, its central value is turn-based, but I think it works out really, really greatly. I mean, it won Game of the Year, so. All right, next comment here is that the druids are evil because they want you to kill the goblins. The druids only want to kill the goblins because the goblins started trying to kill them first. And several of the characters say that you only really need to kill the leadership, not completely wipe out every single goblin. Honestly, in all my playthroughs, I've wiped out every single goblin. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. But with that being said, anyone that's even remotely paying attention to the story would know that the druids are not the bad guys. Like, I feel like everyone that I've seen has said druids is the good route to go in a playthrough. So anyone that says that is, I don't even know what to say. Like, you're just not even paying attention a little bit. This is a great comment here. I feel like a lot of bad takes come from the idea that anything in this game deals in absolutes. A lot of time there is no good or bad choice or ending or character, and that is not a mistake on behalf of the writers or a lack of depth of an understanding behalf of the player. Life is messy and it's frequently not fair. Sometimes doing what feels like the right thing has horrible consequences you didn't anticipate. Good people make choices that hurt others sometimes. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't pay off. Sometimes a person who has done terrible things does something that turns out quite nice. The tyrant has a much loved kid who thinks the world of them. This is what makes the storytelling rich and realistic. And if you ask me, yeah, there's plenty of examples where you do bad things or dumb things and it turns out really well. Yeah, I think the game does a great job of really trying to get you to do all kinds of things. And even with the stupid ideas, it kind of works out really well. For example, who would have thought that to get a way to get to the Underdark is by jumping down some spider layer? Like, and the thing is, if you don't have Featherfall, it would say you're jumping into your death, but people figure it out because people figure shit out. That post from a few months back that called Karlach whiny. OP said her breakdown after the Gortash fight was immature and childish and left them with an urge to punch Karlach in the face. Single most horrible take I've ever seen in the game, bar none. I would say they have had to have skipped dialogue. Now, don't get me wrong, I've done my fair share of skipping dialogue, but it is super easy to understand why she was pissed off. So, yeah, that's a pretty terrible take. This is a horrible take. I saw a post from some guy who made sure to kill Asterion immediately because his feminine and mannerisms are gay vibes made him uncomfortable. Dude was bragging about it too. Whether you're a supporter of LGBTQ plus or not, dude, like, what the hell is that? Like, that is just that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Okay, I want to talk about this one briefly. Saw someone on TikTok say that Yuri Lowenthal, that is the voice actor of Spider-Man, should have won the best performance. Which Spider-Man? Peter Parker Spider-Man, not Miles Morales. Anyway, Yuri Lowenthal should have won the best performance at the Video Game Awards because it was better than Neil's generic fantasy character number 400. I think the biggest problem with this is that people don't actually play the games of the other nominees aside from the ones that they vote, at least more often than not. Because if you're going to say the dude had a generic fantasy character 400, like that is... I know I said I haven't done a lot of Astarion's quests. That doesn't mean I haven't interacted with the guy or I've recruited him in my party just for him to lockpick something. And even just hearing the voice actor and even the smallest bits and pieces of dialogue, that does not sound generic at all. Sounds very in tune. I mean, even recruiting him and getting there to begin with all that dialogue, you can immediately tell it's great voice acting. No, I'm sure I'm missing more of how great it can be because, again, I haven't done his side quests. But even from the bits and pieces that's been thrown at me, generic fantasy character is terrible. And anyone that says that is very biased towards whatever they voted for. Okay, I've had to go through a lot of controversial takes because I'm not even trying to go down that road here. But I mean, this one I really have to address. Why is everything gay? ? Larian pushing the gay agenda down my throat by making me romance dudes. First of all, no, you're not forced to romance any dudes. One, why is Will black? Black people weren't in medieval Europe. It totally breaks my immersion. 0 stars. Terrible take. Turn-based totally ruined it for me, and I feel like the game would be more popular. Okay, yep, we already talked about this. This is stupid. And then the guy himself says basically every stupid-ass take from people that blatantly do not know the hell they are talking about when it comes to D&D or just society in general. Yeah. All three of those just, yeah, bad takes. This is a great comment right here. It's a long one, so buckle in for this one. I think this was viral just around the time the game was released. Someone suggested that Larian, which is the game developers, should take all the money they get from Baldur's Gate 3 and develop an action RPG combat update for people who don't like turn-based. And blah, 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 blah. Getting to this part, in my opinion, no work of art, be it illustration, fiction, music, or otherwise, should ever strive to be for everybody. A masterpiece can only achieve its best iteration if it caters to a very specific vision for a very select audience. Because art becoming the best of its niche is how it begins to catch the attention of those outside of it. And honestly, I think this guy pretty much hit the nail on the coffin. You can't start something or create something with the expectation that everybody will always like it. Even when I first started this channel, for example, in my first video talked about how I wanted to build a community for all. Now, when I say that, I completely understand that there's going to be a lot of people that just don't want to join the community, that don't like me or the videos or whatever the case may be. And anytime you're a creator of something, whether it's music, game development, whether it's creating your own style of basketball or football or your characters who you main, there will always be people who don't like what you do. So if people want to take a core element to this game and say, nah, it could be bigger if you did something else. Like, no. You have to perfect what you are doing. You have to nail what you are doing. You can't cater to everyone, because the moment you cater to everyone, it becomes bland. Kind of like what Marvel did. In my opinion, Marvel tried to cater to everyone, and it brought it so much down and worse. Like, they did too much. They had an audience, especially leading up to Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. And it's like they said, all right, now we're going to expand times a million. Now there's just too many movies to follow, too many shows to follow, too many heroes to follow. Like, yes, is it cool for certain crowds to get what they want? Absolutely. But because you're giving something to everyone, you're losing people now, because the diehards who follow all the movies are like, this is just too much. I can't keep up with this. It's not art anymore. The storytelling isn't as impactful. Like, it's just, you cannot cater to everyone. And that is something that Baldur's Gate 3 has done really well. They knew going into it that turn-based is not for everyone, but they said the people that can enjoy it and the people that haven't tried it but might be open to it, those are the people we're shooting for. Those are the people that we want to play this game. And it won Game of the Year. So it's like, they did everything that they wanted to do in creating their masterpiece. And even to those that have never even tried turn-based, they're trying this and they're like, oh shit, hey, I actually like this kind of turn-based game. Okay, this is the last one we're gonna do because I've done a good amount by now, and I've been scrolling through this for quite some time because there have been a lot of bad takes. I'm gonna do a lot of editing though because there's a lot of repetition. But anyway, dude saying the game is railroading and boring, that he finished it in 60 hours and couldn't see why it was entertaining. Dude barely did a quarter of the game, probably skipped all the dialogue. Yeah, if you only have 60 hours in this game, you're nowhere getting near the content that you deserve. But I will say, if you do spend 60 hours in a game and it's just not for you, like, if somebody spends 60 hours in a game, it's just not for them. Like, there's no... I understand that there's a lot this game has to offer, and yes, this dude clearly did not experience even a quarter of what, the game had to offer. 60 hours is a lot of time. If you don't like that, I don't think that this is a hot take in the sense that it's the guy's opinion, right? And if he plays 60 hours of a game and he finds it boring and railroading, then dude, he spent 60 hours. Like, if I watch an anime and I spend 10, not even 10 episodes, if I spend 2 episodes, 3 episodes, and I find the anime boring, I'm no longer inclined to watch the anime at all just because everyone in the world likes it. If I find the first couple episodes boring, I'm good. You know, if the anime is that hyped, I'll watch a little more. This dude spent 60 hours in the game. Did he miss a lot? Absolutely. But that's still a lot of time. If you're playing a game for that long, then yeah, you have the right to your own opinion. And so I think this is actually the first comment that I disagree with. Yes, he missed a lot. That I agree with. But I mean, 60 hours is a fuck ton of time, dude. Well, let me know what you guys think about the comments and the hot takes that we saw. But as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. This is All Even Different. All Even Different. And we out.